What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I had a totally different video set up for you guys today, but I was feeding through my news and I saw this and I'm like, oh, no, screw that. I'm canceling this video.
And highlighting the fact that Trump is concerned with his base. And like, newsflash, a billionaire immigrant Silicon Valley tech bro, not Trump's base.
And I'm starting a different video. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm sure you'd love to know that, right? Check this out, y'all. Biden administration agrees to stop selling border wall materials. Texas AG says they violated court order. That is right. So good news coming down the pipeline. They're going to stop selling the border wall, and we're finally get a win from this, and we might even get some criminal investigations. That is right. But before we get into the video, need you guys to do me a giant favor and smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you like to stay up to date with, just how you're being manipulated by the corporate press, because they do manipulate everything, it seems like. But without any further ado, let's get into this. Now, I will say right quick, sorry, that, this is a right-wing publication, but once again, it's very good news, and I wanted to cover this. And I'm not reading a left-wing news source because there were zero left-wing news sources covering this. Surprise, surprise, right? The Biden administration has agreed to stop selling border wall materials in the wake of a complaint filed by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Filed earlier this month, the complaint accused the administration of auctioning off up to half a mile per day of border wall sections for a mere fraction of the original purchase cost, as noted in a press release. Paxton argued that the selling off of border wall materials was a violation of an agreement reached in May 2024 to force the Biden administration to spend statutorily obligated funds on border wall construction after the federal government attempted to illegally redirect the money. The Biden administration cannot auction off sections of the border wall, the Texas AG said in a statement. If these reports are true, the Biden administration is violating a federal court order. So now, we covered this the other day. We talked about, the Biden administration selling off all these sections of border wall. They've sold off a vast majority of the border wall. And this is absurd, right? They've been selling this border wall off since 2023. And hang on, come to find out, that actually violates law. Now, I think that we need to do an investigation into this to see, because once again, Congress, they legislated this to happen. Trump started that border wall. There were contracts already, set in stone pretty much. And Joe Biden comes in, just stops it outright, waits 2 years, and then starts selling off the material, right? So this was paid for by taxpayer dollars. This was paid for, whether it was through, issuing more debt or what have you. We still have to pay for this at some point, because we got to pay interest payments on that debt. So, and tax dollars go to pay for that. So this wall was paid for by you guys. Joe Biden coming in and just deciding to sell this stuff off for pennies on the dollar, literally, just is one of the most absurd things imaginable, right? Like, it's not quite as bad as leaving, $60-70 billion worth of weapons of war, if you will, military equipment in Afghanistan, just because we got our butts handed to us on our way out the door because of incompetent decision-making, incompetent administration officials, and just an incompetent plan. If there was any plan at all, it doesn't seem like there was. It just seems like Joe Biden said, pack everything up, let's get out of there by tomorrow. It just seems so ridiculous and rushed. It doesn't make any sense. But let's keep going with this thing, y'all. Texas is going to court to prevent any border security materials from being unlawfully sold, and to find out the truth about what the federal government may be doing to subvert border wall construction, he added. Flash forward to Friday, when Paxton revealed in an updated press release that the Biden administration confirmed to the court today that it will agree to an order preventing the ongoing administration from disposing of any further border wall materials over the next 30 days, right? Now, once again, that they're just agreeing to a court order, right? Acting like we don't have to agree with the court order, right? This is typical. This is run-of-the-mill business as usual for the Biden administration, who doesn't care about court orders. They don't care about law and order. They don't care about, did we pay for this wall? They just care about their own agenda and screw everything else. It doesn't matter if it costs the taxpayer dollars money. We don't want to build this wall, so we're not going to. It's like a child throwing a temper tantrum. I can't have my candy right now, so we're just going to scream and cry and whine and whinge and gripe about everything. It's what it seems like to me. That's just enough time for President-elect Donald Trump to assume office and use those materials as he sees fit, Paxton added. But it gets better. Additionally, the court stated that Texas is entitled to documentation proving that the Biden administration has not violated an injunction secured by Attorney General Ken Paxton in May of 2024 that required the Biden administration to spend statutorily obligated funds on border wall construction after the federal government attempted to illegally redirect the money, a press release from Paxton's office reads. That is right. So once again, this goes to what I was talking about earlier, where Congress authorized this. The contracts were already in the making. They were set in stone pretty much. And what does Biden do? He tries to sell off the border wall, then redirect the contract money to somewhere else. Right? No, those contracts have to be paid out. And if they have to be paid out, why not just build the wall? Once again, the Biden administration throwing a temper tantrum. We're not going to do it, and you can't force me to do it, whether it's by law, by popular mandate, doesn't matter. They don't care. But it's just all ridiculous. But once again, business as usual for the Biden administration. If it is shown that the Biden administration disposed of border wall materials purchased with funds subject to that injunction in violation of a court order, or that the Department of Justice made misrepresentations regarding the border materials that have been auctioned off, this would constitute unethical and sanctionable conduct, and the reasonable parties could be held in contempt of court. It continues. As previously reported, the Biden administration stopped construction of the border wall the moment President Joe Biden assumed office in January of 2021. 2 years later, in 2023, the administration began auctioning off parts of an online auction marketplace through the story. Though the story didn't gain traction until this month, when the Daily Wire published bombshell video footage showing unused sections of the wall being hauled away on the back of a flatbed truck from a section of the border just south of Tucson. The video spurred widespread backlash, including from Trump, who filed a lawsuit a couple of days later after Paxton filed his complaint. Today, President Trump has filed an amicus brief in the Southern District of Texas requesting that a highly respected federal judge immediately stop the Biden administration's reported fire sale of border wall materials at rock-bottom prices and order an investigation. Trump campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung said in a statement. Any attempt by Biden officials to obstruct President Trump's plan to build the border wall is unlawful, unconstitutional, and possibly criminal, as our brief argues. President Trump will not be deterred from building the wall, he added. That is all to that story. But once again, I still believe, and I'll say it again, that this needs to be investigated. I think that, Republicans are going to have a tough time trying to mitigate the disaster that was the past 4 years, right? Because we've got to fix the economy. We've got all this legislating to do. And then on top of that, we need investigations into all the criminal actions of the Biden administration, such as this, right? You can't just violate Congress. Right? We have co-equal branches of government, or we're supposed to, but, the Biden administration doesn't seem to think that. They seem to think that Biden seems to think he's king and he can do whatever the hell he wants to. Proof, i.e., that, he silences voices online, violating people's First Amendment rights. He gave all his departments backdoor access to social media, to silence voices, political speech that he didn't agree with, blah, blah, blah. You got The student loan debt relief plan, Supreme Court says no. He says, I don't care. We're going to do it this way. Supreme Court says no again. He does it anyway. You got the border wall stuff. It's just a litany of different things. The Biden administration, actions show that they don't care about law and order in this country. And that is so absurd that the president of the United States would undermine the very country that he is in charge of. That's absurd on its face. But, it is what it is. And I'm trying to keep these videos short and sweet. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. I find it to be absurd. I find it just mind-numbingly aggravating, if you will, that the Biden administration can get away with what they can get away with. But hang on, can they get away with it? Yeah, we will see what the Trump administration does and if they try to hold any of these actions accountable, right? Hopefully they do. Hopefully we have enough time fixing the economy and fixing all this other garbage that the Biden administration has absolutely destroyed to go after these people for their crimes. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.